Hi, everyone, and welcome to my channel, the Witty Social Worker Podcast. Today, I have some exciting news. Today is the premiere of my episode one of my podcast, and I am so excited. It has definitely been a labor of love, but a good one. I'm enjoying this, and I am just so excited to be here. I have a special guest, but first, let me do my introduction. I am your host, of course, Bernadette. I am a geriatric social worker by day, but here I call myself the witty, sitting, pretty social worker. You like that? I created this space because I wanted to talk to people from all walks of life, people that are able to share their experiences, professionals who can also share their experiences, and just look at it from a people to people perspective instead of clinical all the time. It's important for me as a social worker to get people's perspective and have them relate to everyday people because that's what it's all about. I want to empower and inspire you to possibly live your best life. And from the experiences that are shared with my guests, hopefully you will be able to take some tidbits, add it to your life and food for thought, and use it as you see fit. Okay, I hope I did good. I'm really nervous, so just bear with me. So today I have the pleasure of having a very good friend of mine as my first guest who graciously and willingly accepted my invitation to be on my first episode. We will talk about his global travels and how food and culture can teach us about people, connections, and how we age. I believe his travels align with who I am as a social worker because I study people through service and he studies culture through experiences, which I think is better actually. Lonnie and I go way back. We've known each other since high school, but we just recently connected a few months ago for our 40th class reunion. But because Facebook is such an amazing connection tool, I have been following him for a while. Lonnie is from Kinston, North Carolina, aka K Town, the K, my hometown where I'm from. He graduated from Kinston High School, same high school as me. He attended Durham Technical Community College and NCCU, where he studied business management. And while in college and after college, he worked at Becton Dickerson Multinational Medical Technology Company. Wow, that was a mouthful. He worked in purchasing. He retired at the young age of 38 years old. Now, what I want to know, who retires at 38? Only two groups of people can do that. One group is with money. The other one is someone who has mapped out their life going into their golden age. And Lonnie fits in the last one. He might fit in the first one. I'm not really sure.
That was the last
But
one.
but if he does, honey, that is good. He's a global world traveler. He has visited over 50 countries and this year will visit 7 new countries. He currently lives in Durham, North Carolina, and his primary purpose in life, which should be everybody's goal in life, is to be a better person, a good person. Show some humility to people because that's what it's all about. And as quiet as it's kept, if we all show humility to people, I believe this world will be a better place. I
Yeah,
just do. You know, people are just dealing with so much and have a lot going on. But if we just show humility and respect, I think this world will be a better place. So without further ado, please welcome my guest, my homeboy, Lonnie King, AKA the White T-shirt guy.
wow, wow,
Yay!
wow,
Yay, yay, yay,
wow.
yay, yay. I was supposed to have some clapping going on, but I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know how to do it yet. That is funny. That is
We'll have that the
funny.
next time I'll visit the show.
Yeah, yeah. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, Lonnie and I were just having a conversation that I didn't know about this man. And I love this because getting to know my guests is so special to me and it's so funny, especially when I've been knowing this man since high school. And Lonnie, I don't really think you and I interacted too much in high school. What are your thoughts?
Even in high school, most of the time I was gone. I was traveling even then, so I didn't stick around. I was actually visiting other high schools.
Okay. Okay. but did you ever were you ever in those groups like with Joe and
Sophisticated gentleman.
Billy? Yeah. Were you ever in that you were in that group?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. And guys, that was the smart group. Those were the
I don't know.
those were the men that those were the boys that were really smart. They were really smart. They never were attracted to me. I don't know why, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But I remember it was like what, maybe 10 of you?
Yeah,
12?
it was around that. The number, exact number escapes me, but it was around that.
Yeah, it was quite a few of you, but yeah, again, they weren't attracted to girls like me. They should have. They should have been. Anywho, back to what I was saying previously. It is always interesting to hear something different about your guest, something that you didn't know. And Lonnie and I was talking before the podcast started that he was a comedian. I'm like, who knew? You know, it seems like I make him laugh more than he makes me laugh, but I laugh because he's laughing. So Lonnie, before we get into to the podcast, can you just tell me a little bit about that? Because I asked you if if you were going professional or what were you going to do with that?
Well, it all started in Raleigh at a comedy show, and my few of my friends went to the comedy show, and the comedian wasn't that good, so I started heckling him because we sat up front, and he was like, "If you think you can do any better, come on up on the stage." And so I got up and went on stage, and the crowd went crazy. And he grabbed the mic from me and said, "Get off my stage! You're showing me up." So I was like, "This is pretty cool." So I went to open mic night at Charlie Goodnight's in Raleigh, and I continued to do them from there. And I was like, "This is nice," and I caught the bug.
Really? I don't believe
Yeah,
you. Are you on YouTube anywhere? Do you have any videos? I need to see for
I
myself.
I don't have any videos. However, I do have people that can vouch for it. I do.
Lonnie, I just can't believe this. I'm no seriously. You just seem so you're saying that you have a humorous side to you.
Well, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. I had to pause there because you look so serious all the time. You
That's because
do.
my mind is thinking of something funny to say.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you just never know, you just never know. Okay. So Lonnie, my question is, how did you come up with that name, the white t-shirt guy?
My hobby is taking pictures of welcome to signs. So I go to each state and
Here
take a
we
picture
go again.
of
I
the
didn't know that.
So what I was doing was I was taking these pictures and I was like, wait a minute. There's two ways you can tell a date on a picture. It's the hairstyle and the clothes. So I said, well, if I just because I always cut my hair. I mean, I can grow hair. I just keep it cut close for convenience. So I said, well, let me put a white t-shirt on every time I take a picture. You would never be able to date the picture. So then I had to go back again to all the states. I had been to all 50 states, but then I had to go back to all 50 states again just to take a picture in a white t-shirt,
Oh, wow.
which I didn't
Wow.
mind.
Wow.
So this lady, she was looking at she was like, there's that Lonnie King in that white t-shirt. And then the second lady said, oh yeah, that white t-shirt guy. I was like, wait a minute, I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, yes,
That's why
yes.
everybody started calling me the white t-shirt guy.
Okay, okay. So I guess that answered my second question, does that represent your style? Was
My
that a style before that or it just became your style?
it was an accidental style of convenience because
Yeah.
man, when you travel, I don't know about you. Sometimes when
Yeah, I don't know.
you load the suitcase and you don't wear half the stuff that you bring
Oh
with you.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I was like, I always before I go on vacation, I swing by and get a pack of white t-shirts. And when I'm on vacation, I'll throw a white t-shirt on, I take it off, throw another one on, take it off, throw it, and enjoy myself without having to get all glammed up. Now, don't get
Right.
me wrong. Now, when I go out, I'm
Yeah.
straight. But
Hmm.
during the day, when you're doing the excursions and stuff like that, and check this out. When I come back from a trip, I dry clean the t-shirts and then I donate them to the shelter.
Oh wow.
So the next time you see a guy on a street corner
Uh-huh.
asking for money or whatever, he may not have gone to Europe, but his t-shirt he has on might have been.
Oh, wow. Man, that is so cool, Lonnie. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, so people don't know the story behind the white T-shirt once you donate it.
I've donated close to 600 T-shirts now.
Okay, so I will know now. I will know now. When I see somebody in a white T-shirt, I'm gonna say my friend might have donated that T-shirt, and he don't even know where that T-shirt came from.
Don't
That
even know.
that is amazing. Yeah. See, you just never know. Okay, let's start with your why.
Mhm.
Why did you start traveling, and how did it all begin?
Well, it actually all began as a child. My family would always go on family vacations. And I remember growing up, my most fond memories were from those vacations. And I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna say I hate to say it, but two of my favorites was White Lake and Cliffs of the Neuse. And if anyone is from Kinston, North Carolina,
That's right. If you know, you know. That's right. When Lonnie brought that up to me the first time, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot all about the Clifford." And
yeah, I know you did.
Lonnie told me not to say it, but the
Go
Clifford
ahead and
and
say
New
it.
Kids, they gonna kill us. They gonna kill us. You know, we ain't right. Cliff
Oh,
of the nasty news.
that's-
Cliff of the nasty news in White Lake. I remember going to those two places all the time. So when he
yes,
brought those two lakes up to me, it
yes.
brought back nostalgic memories.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. And that I can remember so much fun with my brothers and sisters and just those weekends. And so it was natural. Vacations have always been just a thing with me. It was just natural. So I just kept it going.
Yeah, okay. So in these vacations with your family, are they vacations visiting people or just giving you exposure to different things? What was the idea you think behind this traveling with your family?
Well, my mother would always tell us she wanted well-rounded children because she wanted us to be in the White House and the outhouse and act accordingly no matter where we were. So she
Hmm.
wanted to expose us to a lot of things that we would not have been exposed to if we stayed stationary.
Right.
Now, my father, on the other hand, he was just having good fun. He was just having fun. So we got it from both sides. We got it from a cultural aspect and from just having a good time aspect. So,
So after you grew up, I mean, well, traveling was always in your blood,
oh
but
yes.
the outlook on traveling, the perspective that you had as a child is different now as an adult. So
Yes,
so are you still seeking those same things, or are you seeking different things?
it evolves. Uh, when I first saw people living differently than I grew up and differently than what I was told, and I was like, "Whoa, there's something different going on here. I need to see for myself." And then it just opened my eyes, opened my horizons to so many different things that I didn't know was going on in the world. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Whoa, this I'm onto something here."
Lonnie, do you remember the very first country that you visited?
Germany.
Germany.
Oh, well, let me back up.
I was going to say
Uh,
Germany might as well be
yeah,
America.
yeah. Well, I guess for me, Bahamas. A lot of us here in the states, our first trip was either Mexico or the Bahamas, something like
Hmm.
that. So I remember those being fun trips.
Hmm.
And this is the first thing that I thought about when I went to the Bahamas. If you go and you stay on the resort and don't leave,
Hmm.
you could be anywhere. You could be in Myrtle Beach. If you don't go get off the resort, and they tell you don't get off the resort. But me, being as inquisitive as I am, I like to go where the locals go. I like to go
Hmm.
where I can get off I get off the resort and go deep within and just blend in with the locals and talk
Yeah.
to them and
And
get their
that's where the
food.
best food is anyway.
Woo, what you talking about?
And culture and their culture, the life, the nightlife.
Yes. And they embraced me. And they was like,
Hmm.
they were impressed that I wanted to learn about them. I have, everywhere I go, they embrace
Hmm.
me everywhere I go.
Yeah. But Germany, how was that for you?
That was the first of all, that was the longest at that time, the longest plane ride I have taken. And I really enjoy a long plane rides now. But again, I put it to like this. Coming from the United States, when the speed limit is 20, 55, or whatever. And then the war on drugs. And then I'm going, we're going to speak frankly. prostitution. And then when you go into a country, and I'm in my 20s, early 20s, you go into a country where you can drive as fast as you want and no police will stop you. And I'm like, wow. And then you can go in and just, you can get as high as you want, get as much drugs, smoke as much weed as you want, and no police was, it's legal. And then, to be frank, you can go and negotiate as much women as you want, prostitution. I'm trying to put it nicely, but and no one.
Did you indulge?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay.
Honestly, I did not. I was
Okay.
too fascinated.
Right.
And so what that taught me was something is not right with the United States. They're telling us that you can lose, I could lose my freedom for any of those things. I could be put
Mm-hmm.
in jail and locked
Mm-hmm.
away for years for any of those things. And these people are happy and living freely doing all of those things. And I was like, the United States got some propaganda with it. I'm not sure if I believe everything they say now.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first experience with Germany.
Yeah. And how are the people in your travels?
See, that's the other thing. Now, we touched on prostitution and drugs. Let's touch on a little bit about racism. I've been told my entire life, because, the United States was born out of race, born out of racism anyway, born out of violence and racism.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to other countries, they embrace black men. Black men are, in some countries, worship. I mean, they love black men all over the world. Man, I tell you, I was in China. I felt like a rock star. It was unbelievable. This is no exaggeration. I stood for 20 minutes and people lined up just to take pictures with me.
But you know what? Wait a minute, Lonnie. I have heard the flip side of that. I have
Yes.
heard negative
Oh,
about
absolutely.
China.
You see,
And
this is.
are
Oh,
they
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
fascinated when they take pictures of black people? Are they fascinated by us because we're not there? It's not a lot of us there. So what is that fascination? Because I see that a lot on social media with people
I
who
put it to
visit
you.
China.
Yes, I put it to you like this: everyone has heard something about everyone, and they were told things about everyone. Even here in the United States, we're told this group of people, that group of people. So the United States have told the world about black people and how they act and how they are. But the way I view it is this, because I've heard people say, well, I don't like people to try to touch my hair or try to take pictures or look at me like I'm in a zoo. Well, when you go to other places, you are a representative. Now, it's up to you which stereotype are you going to reinforce. So when they meet a person, a black person, for the first time, I don't want them to say, yeah, those things I heard about them are correct.
Right, right.
I want them to say, well, no, I met a black guy named Lonnie King and he was nice. He was actually really nice. So all that stuff I heard about them, that wasn't right. That was incorrect. That's what I want to portray when I go to other parts of the world. The same way I was when I first went to Germany. And I was like, this is not right. These are things that I've been told isn't correct. So that's the way I want people to view. I'm a representative of black people and black men when I travel the world. And I want them
And maybe even America.
to,
Because America in different countries get a bad rap.
right here. Look, I would say this. The one thing that the United States of America is number one at is propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Boy, let
Absolutely.
me tell you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you don't know otherwise until you get out of
you don't know
this country.
because
It's
they
just
when
yeah.
they ask me, they want to ask me about the United States. They always come to me and say, "Hey, is it really like this or I'm like, where in the world did you get that?" And then
Maybe.
we sit
Yeah.
down and they invite me into their home. We eat and they want to know all about it. And I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you the real deal. And there you have it.
Yeah. I mean, and it also helps you see the world differently.
Yes.
And so in your travels, how has that changed your perspective on the world
I
and
realize
people?
that we're all more of the same than we are different. Now, I know from a physical standpoint, the DNA we were like 98% the same. That 2% makes us look different.
Hmm.
But one thing I've found in my many travels is we all cry and we all laugh in the same language,
And our blood is all the same.
all the same. If you're a doctor and you can operate in anybody, anywhere on earth, you can operate because when we open us up, the organs are in the same place.
Hmm.
Everything is the same.
That's right.
We're pretty much all the same, and that's one of the reasons why I can go into these different countries and not speak the language and still get around, still eat, still do everything because we all cry and we all laugh in the same language.
Has traveling taught you anything different about yourself that you didn't know?
Yes, it taught me that, which I really thought I was. I'm not gonna say I was a know-it-all. I thought I knew a lot, but it humbled me
Oh,
because so many things I realized I did not know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. And you just can't sit back and rely on someone to tell you and take it like it's the gospel. Some things you really have to see for yourself.
Yeah. And we don't know it all.
No, not at all. No, not even close.
And people are not the same. You know, you have traveled to so many countries, and I'm sure you have seen and interacted with different people and have noticed or observed that we are all different. And
Yeah.
and I like how God has made us all different. Imagine living in a world where everybody was like me. Yeah, that wouldn't go over too good. That would not go over too good. But our individuality is amazing with different people, and I'm sure you have experienced that in the different countries that you've been to, the differences in
Yes.
people.
Celebrate the differences because when I go to different places and I see the dance and I was
Yeah.
like, and the only the dance and I see what they look like and it's like, well, man, I know this guy. This guy looks just like someone else, or this that's where that dance came from. And I hear a tune, I was like, so that's where that came from. That music came from. And
Hmm.
so we need to celebrate the differences and not saying, oh, that's wrong, or don't be non-judgmental. Don't judge the difference.
You know what, Lonnie? America is so judgmental because we think
Ooh,
our country is how other people are supposed to act and be, not realizing there are other countries outside of America, and people have their own cultures and their own way of doing things. I am
yes.
so glad that I am open-minded to different people and the way in their culture. I mean, Western ideas are not plausible for everybody. That's not how the world works.
No, not at all. This is a capitalist society, and believe it or not, not everyone on earth is just itching to get into the United States. They're all over
Not
the world.
anymore. Not
Not,
anymore. Yeah.
in fact, not even then. These countries, these people are so proud of their countries,
Right. Yeah.
so proud.
Hmm.
And if you want to get to the majority of the world, I think, has a caste system. If you're born poor, chances are you're going to die poor. If you're born rich, chances are you're going to die rich. So those are the people that are trying to get to the United States because they feel like they can rise above their situation. However, what they didn't know when they get here is you got to work 3 or 4 jobs
Right.
and have five or
Isn't
six
that
roommates.
something? The American dream.
Dream.
Yeah. That doesn't exist anymore.
Not right.
Not when you have to work 3 and 4 jobs.
Yeah. So I learned a long time ago there's quality of life.
Yes.
And to see someone that is so happy with less.
Yes, the simple things. Yes,
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 so happy with
yes.
less.
You know, I often said that I would like to live, I say off the land or off the grid. I would like to do that for 6 months and see how that would work for me, where I don't have to do my hair, where I don't have to put on makeup, where I can wear the same grungy, not grungy, but the same clothes and not worry about, how I look. Just live my life freely,
It's
stress
it,
free.
it's liberating.
It's very liberating. It sounds
Yes.
liberating.
Yes.
I think a lot of people in America, we just want to live a good, stress free, liberating life. But unfortunately, we can't do that because, as you mentioned, this is a capitalist society and our country is not going to allow us to do that
No,
because it's all about the Benjamins.
I was about the Benjamin. Well, I was always taught he who is richest is content with least. So
Yes.
but when you worry about designer clothes, when you worry about eating at those restaurants, and people that I don't know, oh man, I got to pay these bills. You just rack up
Hmm.
so much debt in the United States.
Yeah.
But there, it's like I remember my man Norman in Jamaica was riding, and he was just pointing out the different trees. He was like, if this is bothering you, go to that tree right there and you take that. And if this is bothering you, you go to that other tree and you take. And I was like, wow, medication just growing from the
Hmm.
ground naturally.
Yeah.
And then it
Well, I
was like,
mean, that's in the Bible, you
yeah.
know.
And if you want, it was like, hey, you want mango? He said, yeah, it's a mango tree. Just pull over, just grab some
Yeah.
and start eating. I'm like,
Yeah.
for
That's what I'm
free.
talking about. Yes. Yes.
Oh man,
Cooking me fish in a leaf, over an open
there you
fire.
go.
It don't
I love
have to
it.
have any seasonings because I don't need seasonings. I got high blood pressure. Just
Oh,
give me the
but
plain fish.
they have the natural seasons growing all over the place
Yes, that's what I love.
abundantly.
And I will say that I do not like American food because it's too processed. It's processed. It's not
Yes.
healthy for you. I would rather eat other cultures' food because they stew their food, they use fresh ingredients. And I love that. I love that. You have to be very disciplined in America to live a healthy life.
They don't want us to live healthy
No, I
because
know. I know.
a lot of stuff that we eat here is outlawed and banned in other
Uh,
countries.
what's that red color?
Yeah, you can't even get it.
What?
They won't even let it enter the country. And
And
that's
yes, and some of the same food that we eat, they eat over there, but a lot, two or three of the ingredients are left out. I didn't
yes,
believe that.
yes.
I was like, what the heck? That
So
is crazy. That is crazy. How important does food play into your travels?
see, this is the thing. When I grew up, my grandmother had a farm, and shout out to Fort Barnwell, North Carolina.
Oh
But
my God, Lonnie,
let
you
me
are
tell
bringing back some good memories. I love this. Oh my
you.
God, yes.
So when you get up in the morning and you want the eggs, you went to the chicken coop
Chicken, that's
and you
right.
got the eggs and you clean them up or whatever. And back then you didn't put eggs in the refrigerator. We do now when you go to the
Yeah,
grocery store, but back then they were
yeah,
outside in the chicken coop. If you
yeah.
wanted chicken for dinner, you went and you wrung a chicken neck, walking around the yard, and the meat you didn't put it in the it was in the smokehouse,
Yeah,
and they made their own preserves and stuff like that. So I grew up knowing what natural food was. So when I
organic.
go to other places,
Another word for organic. That's
organic, yeah.
organic. That is
we,
organic.
we didn't use organic back then. We just used
No,
farm
natural
food.
or farm food. Yes, yes, absolutely.
So when I go to these other countries, I'm like, I need to know what they eat because for people to okay, think about Jamaica. You have Usain Bolt and you have these guys living on Maurice Green, living on the same street, the fastest men in the world. They lived on the same block. So I'm like, what is it? How do these people live? So I'm asking them. And they were like, we just eat natural stuff from the ocean. A lot of fish. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of
Oh, I love
we just
that.
pull from the
Yes.
ocean and eat. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, can I do that? He was like, nah, too late, my man. We grew up like this. We came out the
Yeah,
world. He
yeah.
said, you can start and it will, because the quality of life is very important. So
Mm-hmm.
I was taught a lot about eating the right foods around the world.
Yeah. I
We don't
mean,
need enough of it.
community is food.
Oh, yes.
African Americans have their cultural foods. Hispanics have their cultural food. Asians have their cultural food. It's a sense of community.
Oh,
Even with
yes.
even with the Ethiopians, they eat with their hands in a communal setting.
A lot of places eat with their fingers. A lot of places eat with their fingers.
I love that. I love that. I wish I could get away with that in American restaurants because those utensils are filthy. I don't know how many times I've had to send my utensils back. So eating with my hands, if it was appropriate here, obviously it's
Mm.
not. They think you're weird. I would love to eat with my hand.
And I don't care how, if it could be a Michelin restaurant, it could be 5-star. Those cloth napkins.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! I've been in restaurants and seen some people blow their nose on those things, and
Ooh.
and if you think all of them are gonna come clean, and then you get it, and they give it to you, that's why a lot of people actually request paper napkins when they go, even in
Oh,
expensive restaurants, they still request
okay.
paper napkins.
Well, I have to admit, when I wipe my mouth, makeup comes off.
Mhm.
So it looks disgusting,
Oh man,
but it's just makeup.
I've gotten glasses in a restaurant with lipstick still on.
Yeah, And so that's why sometimes when I go to a restaurant, I ask for a cup of hot water so
Hmm.
I can put my utensils in there. But you know what?
Hmm.
I'm gonna start bringing my own utensils or asking for plastic utensils because
But
it's nasty.
I tell you, if in my travels, this is the conclusion I've come up with. If you're not going to grow or prepare your own meal, pray over every meal you eat and keep it
Yeah.
going.
Is that
Pray
what
over
prayers
every.
is for? Prayers for?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sprinkle a little
praying over your
prayer.
food.
Sprinkle that prayer over that food and keep it
Yeah.
going because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's
Uh,
messing with your food.
that's why I'm glad I don't eat out as much as I used to, if at all now.
Hmm.
This new diagnosis that I have is a blessing and a curse, I guess,
Hmm.
because it doesn't allow me to eat out as much as I used to because I
Oh,
can't eat the food. My system is changing as I get older.
yes.
And yeah, and so I prefer to cook my own food now. I just do because I don't trust people in restaurants anymore.
Oh, you can't. You can't. Look,
Yeah.
my conclusion is time and health, your most valuable asset and your most valuable commodity. Do not take time and health for granted. Appreciate both of them and cherish them both because they are the most important things in your life. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And through food, you also meet interesting people.
Oh, there's nothing like a good sharing a good meal and conversation.
And
You talk
spe-
about letting your guard down over
yeah,
some food.
yeah.
Oh,
Have you found in your travels that okay, food is a way of connecting, but it's
mhm.
also a way of respect, I guess, if I'm saying this right. Because if you're offered food in some countries or in some communities and you reject that food, that's like being disrespectful or not. Can you explain if you know anything about that?
Oh, absolutely. It's almost the same as in certain cultures, if you come to town, if you do not stay in that person's house, it's disrespect. Depending on where you go, just do a little research on each wherever you go. Do a little research first and know their norms and culture and things of that nature because it could be something as simple as a hand gesture, as a thumbs up,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're like, whoa, that's an insult to them. So I'm very mindful of those things. And I'm very mindful of eating at a person's house because they really want you, they consider it an honor to come to their house and eat their food. And, I mean, we were raised, you can't eat everybody's potato salad.
Right. That part. That part.
So, however, I think of it like this: if they are alive and they're eating it, I think I can survive it.
But Lonnie, you can also say even where we're from,
Hmm.
when we go home to visit and you go see different relatives and friends, they always want you to eat. Say, you
Oh
hungry?
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes, I can remember growing up. They loved this because I had a very healthy appetite growing up. My eating is being talked about in mountains. I have a reputation of being an eater,
Yeah.
so they love to see me eat. They love a healthy
Yeah.
appetite, and they say, "Come on in and break bread with us."
Yeah, yeah. Even at home, I think people get a little, feel some type of way when you say you're not hungry,
I was like,
because
"What's wrong? Ain't this
that's a kind
good?"
gesture.
Yes,
That's a gesture of, I love you and, I'm glad to
yes.
see you, whatever. And when you say, no, I'm not hungry. Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to work out for me since, just have, give me some water or something, Yeah.
It's the friend aspect. If you stay, when you visit a place, if you don't know anyone there, stay in the touristy areas.
Hmm.
But if you do know someone there, his chances are they're going to be offended if you don't come over and break bread with them or stay with them. So just be
Yeah.
mindful of things like that, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I will definitely try to do that because I am very soft to people's culture,
Mhm.
especially, if I don't understand it, I will do like a mini research just to make sure that I am interacting appropriately. Which
Yes,
leads me to my next question. What have different cultures taught you about how people live, love, and connect?
man. Oh man, when the relationships I see the different dynamics of relationships. Some countries have arranged marriages. Some people, I think that this is just my observation. I don't know. I don't have any scientific or statistical data to back this up.
Uh,
In the United States, we're taught find that person and you have that big wedding. And but the majority of the marriages here, well, I'm not maybe roughly 50 or the majority end up in divorce
divorce, yeah.
because other countries they don't marry for love. They marry for their arranged marriages and they marry for convenience. They marry for money. They marry for any other or religion. They
Hmm.
marry for any other thing but that thing called love. And they stay together forever.
Yeah, love comes later.
If it comes.
If it comes,
If
yes.
it comes later. You
Yeah.
learn to love a person, but love doesn't really play a large part in it's comfortable. If you're
Hmm.
comfortable, that's what you go with. Even if when you're not comfortable, you have a certain lifestyle and that they're okay with. Whereas here, man, if you may smack where you eat, and it's we got to get a divorce.
I know.
You can't be
So,
smacking at the table.
what is the famous divorce line? I can't say the word.
Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, yeah. What does that mean? Because you left your socks on the floor, your drawers on the floor today. Just pick them up, sis. I mean, really, if he's doing everything else, just pick the damn socks up in the
And
drawer
keep it moving.
and keep it moving. Exactly. Jeez.
But that's that cultural thing that we
Yeah.
have in the United States. People call United States of America a melting pot. It is
Yeah.
not a melting pot. It's a
No.
salad because a melting pot everything is morphed together into one. But we are a salad because when you make a salad, you still see the lettuce, you still see the tomatoes. It's not morphed, it's not melted into one. It's together but separate. So we're more of a salad.
Yes.
Yes. That's just my view, of course.
That makes sense. It does. It makes sense. And I because I'm an American and my culture is American and I'm not familiar with other cultures' way of building family.
Hmm.
I can't say whether it's wrong or right. A lot of Westerners put our values and ideas on other
Hmm.
people
Yes.
because we don't understand. And
Yes.
until we have an open mind about other people and how they live and how they do things, again, I think this world would be a better place. It's all
Absolutely.
yeah, it's all in understanding other people and understanding that we are not the same and we're not going to live the same.
If you have entire countries of people living differently and they are fine with it, who am I to go over there and say, no, you need to live like us?
Right.
Nah, they're
That's
doing just fine.
crazy.
They are
Yeah.
doing just fine. In fact, I would look at some of the customs and the things that we have because in this country we are so even like the elderly, we are so quick to put them in homes and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, in there's different dynamics to family in other places. So are they wrong? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and that's a good segue into, my next question. Have you noticed how other countries treat their elderly? I mean, do they honor the elderly? Do they shun them away? Does their society, just put them in the back like they never existed, like they didn't make a way for us?
I've been to different countries where the elderly are revered. They're put up so high on a pedestal for their wisdom, and they are protected. They don't have a problem. They don't have a worry in the world. There is no such thing as putting them in a home. You live in that home. That's the home you die in, and you live around family. You live around kids that keep you young.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and I look back at us, I think when we were growing up, when we were younger, it was almost like that. I mean,
Yeah.
as they say, Big Mama.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We had that exposure where we could go over there, we could get that knowledge and think, and just in our lifetime, it's almost like that has slipped away,
Yeah.
especially in the Black community in the United States of America.
Yeah.
So now it's like, where is that wisdom that reveals? Now it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and man, the disrespect. Woo!
Yeah, you know
Even
what? I'm sorry, Lonnie. I will say, because I'm a geriatric social worker, I have been in the nursing home sector, the assisted living home, and independent living community. And I have found that the numbers are still quite low among African Americans and people of our race where we put our elderly in these homes.
Mm-hmm.
It happens, but it's still very low, which I'm very proud to say. And if that does happen, our family members are very active
Yes, I
in
will say
their
that.
love, yeah, in visiting and making
Mhm.
sure that they are okay.
And just put
Um,
away and forgotten.
right, right. And I would say for us to do that, I don't know if you would agree, for us to put our elderly ones in homes like that, it has to be something dire that, we can no longer provide the care that they need.
I agree.
Maybe me as a Gen Xer, I'm I'm no, not even a Gen Xer, maybe me as a baby boomer, I'm taking care of my mother, but I'm sickly too.
Oh,
I
okay, I got you.
yeah, and I need attention. And my daughter's taking care of me, but I'm taking care of my mother and I'm trying everything in my power to take care of her, but at some point, I have to let someone else do it because I can no
Mhm.
longer do it. So, those are the type of, situations that I see from my point of view.
And that is one of the reasons I really enjoy my time spending in certain compounds. I go
Mhm.
to certain countries and they have compounds where you walk in the front, there's a courtyard and there's like a few different huts or houses, and everyone has a different hut house, all living in there together. One
Mhm.
family, but several different families, all in the same bloodline, living
Mhm.
together. Three, four, five generations, all living in the same compound, taking care of each other. And I'm like, so the burden is not placed on one person alone,
Right. Right.
but here's, man, I don't care how many brothers and sisters you have, but we spread all over the place in the United States. And then the one that's closest to the parent, that's basically the one that bears the brunt. So
Yeah.
it's something to think about, but
Yeah.
it's not as I don't think it's as good as it was.
Right. No, I agree with you. And even if you have seven siblings, the burden falls on one.
Yes. Oh yes.
I've seen that also in my profession. I'm like,
Hmm.
you have six other siblings and you're the only one taking care of your mother, and they have a lot to say. They have
Yeah.
so much to say, but they're not contributing to the care. Shut up.
The one that's not there every day has the most to say.
Right, right, exactly. Just criticizing everything the primary caregiver is
Yes.
doing. And, it's just really heartbreaking and makes me mad. I don't like to hear stories like that. I really don't. It's just crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, and let's see, everything. So with the respect of elders that you've seen being revered in different countries, how does that make you think about your aging? Because you only have one child, right?
Three, my perfect little angels that can do no wrong.
Okay. So as you age, do you feel like your children will be there for you?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I don't know. I don't want to sound dark and gloomy, but when I was a child, my mother would always say, if she ever got to the point where she couldn't take care of herself, she would just rather die and leave this world. And it made me very sad as a child. But as I grew older, I really understood what she was talking about. So I don't want to be a burden on anyone. If I can't walk, talk, feed myself, I'm just ready to go. I
But
just
why
rather leave.
why do we consider that a burden?
I don't. Well, yeah, you're right. Why do we consider it? So in some cases, the child considers it an honor to take care of the parents, like the parents took care of them. I mean, after all,
Exactly,
we're child
exactly.
child twice and a man once.
Right,
So
right.
me personally, I'd just rather not go out like that. I
And
mean, even
and again, in my profession, I hear that all the time, Lonnie. I don't want to
mhm.
bother my children. They're busy, this and that and the other. And I don't know. I just feel it's our responsibility, I guess,
Mhm.
because our parents took care of us.
To take care
They
of our
didn't
parents.
have to.
Hmm. Nah, they really didn't, and a lot of them don't. That's another. Is that another story?
Exactly, exactly. And it wasn't a bird. Well, I'm a. I had my kids young, so I'm not going to say it was a burden, but it could have definitely been different.
Yes.
I was fortunate. I had a
Mhm.
fam. I mean, I had a community of
Yes.
relatives that helped me. Sometimes I didn't even realize I had children because they were never with me. They were never with me because of my community.
Yes.
You
That
know,
village. It
that
takes a village.
village. That's right. That's right. And it's like I had to call around to see who my child was with because of my village. And I so appreciated that. And I just feel, because I don't feel like that. I mean, I'm aging, you and I are in our late
Mhm.
50s. I don't feel like I will be a burden to my children. I just feel like I'm hoping that they will want to make sure that I'm okay.
Okay. Yes.
you know if I can't do for myself, let's make sure that mom is okay,
Yes.
whatever that means for her.
I know what
you
it
know
means for me. I
right.
wouldn't mind being in one of those assisted living villages. I ride around on my little golf cart.
That's what I'm saying, Lonnie.
I'd be the mayor of that little golf
That's
cart.
right. That's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, brother. So let's not look at it as a burden to our children, because maybe a lot of times our children don't look at it like that.
Not at
I
all.
know, there's a lot of family dynamics,
Mhm.
involved in that. But if you are a good parent or the best parent that you could be, I don't think our children will look at us as a burden. They will
Yeah,
want us to be okay.
it's almost like that reap what you sow.
Yeah, and I see a lot of that too, Lonnie. It's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
When I tell you it is sad, it breaks my heart.
Mm.
Yeah, that's another story too.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's really bad. Now, would you say that all of this traveling has made you or changed your perspective as a human, as a man, as a person?
definitely. In my quest to be a good person, I've learned so much from other people, from other cultures. It really opened my mind. That's probably the main thing is just open my mind up to be patient, to be more understanding, to be more sympathetic, to show more empathy. So, in all those things, just made me a good person, a better person
Mhm.
to my fellow man.
And patience, right?
Definitely patience in every
I'm
step of the
still
way.
working on that.
Oh no, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of patience anyway, so it bode well for me. But just the humility
Hmm.
and learning that we're all on this planet together. Because if you would just take 1 second and think to yourself, if I were really a good person, if everyone on Earth was a good person, there'd be no wars, there'd be no
Hmm.
hunger.
No
Everyone would,
racism,
and
no hatred. Yeah.
just think how much better Earth would be if we just chose to be like that instead of the opposite.
Yeah.
There would be no one country invading another.
Right.
There'd be no people. I just, as individuals, we just have to
Work on that individually.
think globally and act locally.
Yeah, there you go. That part. I wrote
Start,
that
hey,
down.
hey,
Yes.
it's like Michael Jackson said. Start with the person in the mirror.
That's right.
Make
Yeah.
you make you the best person that you could be. Make your children the best children they could be, and just keep go outward from there. But
Yeah.
start with yourself and just try to be a better person.
Yeah. Even, the issues that we face in America personally, with family, with relationships, with racism, with, everything that goes on here in America. Has traveling influenced your thought process on any of those things, and how you handle or how you deal with those things?
Yes, because it taught me this. Any group is only a reflection of society. Now, the larger the group, the more reflective of society will be in that group. So let's take, for example, police officers. If you have a group of police officers, who does every group pull from? Every group pulls from society.
Mhm.
So are there good people in society? If you get a large enough group of police officers, you're going to have good people in that group. But are there racist people in society? Yes. So if you get a large enough group, yes, there will be racism in that group as well. Are there evil people? Are there hateful people? Are there good people? Are there Christians? Whatever it is. So my thing is try to put your best foot forward first and live life as a beacon. So when they look at you, they don't have to say, well, is he? because you can look from his works and tell if he is or if he isn't. And that's
Hmm.
what I take from that. Just be a
Yeah.
good person. Let your light shine.
Yeah. And it would seem to me, I haven't done any global traveling, but it would seem to me that traveling would also instill in us different beliefs.
Yes, because okay, now we're touching on religion a little bit.
Hmm.
Of course, I grew up Southern Baptist. I mean, fire and brimstone. I mean, like that's. I mean, that's what I grew up on. However,
Right, right.
and I was like, now let's say I was born in Nicaragua. Let's say I was born in Afghanistan instead of being born in North Carolina. If I was born in either of those places, my total view on everything would be totally different. Would
Hmm.
that make me a better person? Am I better than any of those people by virtue of being born in North Carolina? I don't think so. And some of these people are happy, just as happy, or not happy, if not happier. So are they wrong? So now you have to look at yourself, or am I wrong? And of course, everybody says their way is the way.
Right. Yeah, is the right way. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody is incorrect.
Yeah. Somebody. Somebody.
So I think of it like this: I respect the differences. That's what you believe in. I'm fine with that. Let you go over there in that house. You believe whatever you want to believe. I believe whatever I want to believe in this house. Let's coexist. I don't have to go in your house and say, no, you have to live and believe what I believe. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Let them believe and live like they want to. We live and believe what we want to, and let's coexist. Let's trade together. Let's break bread together. Let's
Yeah.
laugh. And we can
Let's
even
learn from each other. Yeah.
Yes, we can even have a dialogue about these things,
Mhm.
but let's not
Yeah.
say mine is better than yours.
Yeah, and that's what needs to happen in America also. Now let's sit down
Woo.
and let's have these tough conversations. Ask me any question that you want to, know about me as a black person.
Hmm.
So you'll have a better understanding of who I am as opposed to what you've been taught.
Yes, racism. You're not born. No one is born racist.
That's right. That's
It's,
right.
it's taught. It's an
Yeah.
environment. You're taught that way as you grow up, and that, to me, if we can just eliminate that, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Do
I was.
do you did you ever encounter any, maybe you answered this earlier on, but did you encounter any racism in any of the countries that you visited?
That I wouldn't call it. See, this is the other thing. I wouldn't call it racism because let's say, for example, when you're in Italy, they're Italians. They don't look at it as like, okay, you're a black guy or you're white. In the United States, we are so embedded in black and white.
Hmm.
That's our lens in which we see things. But when you travel abroad, it's like that's their nationality, that's their country.
Yeah.
So if anything, they are against different countries, not necessarily different skin colors. So now, the most racism I've experienced in over 50 countries is in the United States of America.
Mm.
That is where I've experienced racism.
You
Now,
sound like Muhammad Ali. That's some that's a
I know
bar
Vietnam ever
he
called me.
said. That's a bar he said in an
Yes,
interview. Hmm.
absolutely. This
Yeah.
is the place where you see that. Other places
Yeah.
you don't see that. Now, I was in Italy one time and the lady tried to take advantage of me when I was buying something because I didn't speak Spanish at the time, but I knew enough to know like, nah, you're trying to get over. So that's not right. But other than that, nah, they don't see that.
So, in your experience, you haven't experienced any racism. Okay. Well,
No.
that's good. That's good. Well, you have seven new.
And I really get down in the nitty gritty of the countries too. I get off the beaten path. I can remember being in India, and
Oh,
let me
yeah.
tell you, I was in a presidential palace that I was staying there, and the guy was like, the concierge was like, don't go down there. I mean, it was the slums, and he was like, no, don't go down there. And I was like, okay. I couldn't wait for him to turn his back. I was just immediately went down there and to check things out. And I mean, woo, and it was rough too. But that's what I want to see. I want to see the best and the worst that you have to offer, and just live like that because there's all types of people on this
Oh,
world.
wait a minute, Lonnie. I got to plug my laptop in.
Look at you.
My goodness.
Look.
Talk about ill prepared. I'm not even gonna cut this out.
No, see, this is the thing. When it's natural, this is what it's all about. It's all
Yeah.
about life. Life be life, and life
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to see everything perfect.
Right, right.
No, that's not, because that's not life. That only represents 2%. That
Yeah.
other 98% is life. It happens. It's unexpected.
Yeah, I thought I had the daggone thing plugged in. We
No,
almost lost. We almost was cut off. Thank goodness I could see it. But
there you
yeah,
go.
so I mean, what you said makes so much sense, and I just want people to be more open minded,
Hmm.
and that's what my podcast hopefully can bring more open mindedness from talking to people from different walks of life and different professions. I mean, because the clinical part is going to be there. But when
Yes,
you have actual people on here telling their stories that we can actually relate to, it makes it feel more authentic. And
yes.
and that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for. Before I move on to my next question, I do want to ask you this. I don't know if you got into this part, but me as a social worker, did you ever get the feeling that people handled their private affairs privately, or they look to the system to help them?
When see that's the other thing. It's different when you speak of healthcare. When you speak of people needing assistance in living and things of that nature, we live in a capitalistic society. And when you want to go to the doctor, it's almost like they want you to keep paying just to live. They want you to pay for all these medicines. They want you to live longer with what you have, but they're not. That's why I don't call it's not even like it's healthcare. In other countries, they really, you can't even go to the pharmacy. They don't have pharmacies, CVS and all that on every corner. They don't have these pharmacies. I was in Germany. Like if you're ill, you got to go to the doctor, and this doctor's like free. You just go to the doctor. They diagnose you, they service you, or whatever the case may be, and you go on about your business. Here, take these pills or whatever. And so I find that the systems that are in place is really, and we call them, well, not we, but some people call them third world countries. Those countries
Yeah.
take care of their sick. And unfortunately, we are told that if you really want the best health care, well, yes, not really, because I'll put it to you like this now. This is the best example I can give you. They say that if you want the best health care, you got to come to the United States because we have the best doctors in the world. But now go to the hospital and look at the last name of those doctors, and what do you see?
Yeah. A lot of
So
Indian.
think about
Yeah.
that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me the doctors came from there
Mm,
and they can't perform the same surgeries over there? They just come here for the money.
yeah.
But they're performing the same surgeries everywhere.
Yeah. And
That's
and
the
what
same
and,
doctor.
and and what's important to note here also, in a lot of these countries, they use herbs for healing.
Oh yes,
And
yes,
a lot of Americans go to those countries for healing because
yes.
they don't take a lot of medicine.
No,
America wants to pump us with a lot of medicine, but when you
yes.
go to like Honduras and Jamaica and these other places, they in Asia, and that's why a lot of elders live longer in
Longer
those countries
and still getting around.
and still getting around. These people are like 100 years old and they look like they in their 60s.
Still out there planting crops and
That's
things
right. That's
because
right.
in those countries it's all about health,
Yeah.
living healthy, and
Mm-hmm.
they want to get to the root cause before
Mm-hmm.
you're diagnosed with something.
Mm-hmm.
So they start before.
Yeah.
That's truly health care
Yeah.
because they want you healthy. They want to cure whatever you have.
Yeah.
Here, they wanted you to live with it
Yeah. They
and
do.
all kinds of medicine. Ooh,
Yeah.
prescribe all kinds of pills
I
for you.
know. I got some, I've encountered some residents who are on 18 medications a day.
Mm,
How is all of that medication in your body at one time supposed to work? It's like it's confused.
it's not working.
It's not working. It
No.
doesn't know what to work because it has all these other medications interacting.
And all
You
we have
know,
to do, if you really, if you really want to look at it like this. You can go to any fast food place and for $10 or whatever and get the nastiest, cheapest meal you can find. But try to find a healthy meal and see how much it costs. Try to find healthy food, healthy living, and see how much it costs.
yeah,
It's more expensive, sometimes twice as much. as expensive. Now, why is that? You might ask. Because they don't want you healthy.
Right, right,
Nah,
right,
not
right.
even close.
Yeah. So, Lonnie, tell us, what is the funniest and the scariest experiences that you've had in your travels?
Well, I can tell you the scariest, and let me see if I might need to change some names just in case to protect the innocent.
Right.
I'm up in the mountains. I mean, woo, way up in the mountains on a hike, and uh, and the guide, actually once we go up to the top and we're coming back down, I mean, we're coming through an open field, and it's field full of drugs in the jungle.
Oh,
It's full of
okay.
drugs, and in the distance you can hear there's a camp, and you can hear rap music playing, right? So
Where are you in the mountains?
I don't even know if I should say it's in a country on one of them islands. I'll put it
Okay.
like this.
Okay. Okay.
So and the guy is like, get down, and everybody's down. And he was like, he looks back and he said, we could go around, but it's gonna take maybe an hour or two, or we can just go across this field, these drugs. And he was like, I was like, okay, let's go. So we all down between creeping across the drug field. And I was thinking to myself, if this Jeep comes out of this and they see all of us in that drug, he don't know if he were DEA or just trying to steal drugs. That
Hmm.
could have been ugly.
Yeah,
that,
absolutely. Oh my goodness.
that was probably the scariest episode I had. I tell you, woo,
Well, I'm glad you got out of that safely. That's
that was
crazy.
nerve wracking. Yeah, I
Yeah,
always
sure.
find myself in some nerve wracking situations because I'm always off the beaten path,
Hmm.
so to speak.
Yeah, it's going to happen on the off beaten path.
Yes,
Yeah,
off the beaten path. Now,
yeah.
the funniest in my travels. Now, I can't say that was the funniest thing to me, and I will name names on this one. This actually happened in the United States of America, so I'm,
Hmm.
I'm, I'm gonna use this one. I went to West Virginia, and with my a good friend, I want to say his name too, Alvin Ward,
Remember Alvin?
and Alvin Ward could vouch for this. This is a longer story, but I'm gonna condense it.
Okay.
So when we get to West Virginia late, and I couldn't get in the house. I had rented a house, and I couldn't get in. So there were people across the street, and they invited us in.
In
I mean,
West
we ate
Virginia.
in West Virginia. We ate dinner with them, and they were like waiting on us hand and foot. And then they were like in the basement. They fixed the beds, and we went down there and we got in the bed, and they were like asking you wanted any snacks or anything, you want anything to drink or anything, and we were like no, and then. So as we were laying there, Alvin looked over at me and said, "Wow, these are some nice people. How long have you been knowing them?" And I said, "I met them when you did." So he started laughing. He was like, "No, no, seriously, man, no, tell the truth." I was like, "Man, I don't know anything." He was like, "You mean a man? You got me a bit that could chop us up or anything."
Right.
I said, "Well, they could."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's probably the funniest story. Now that's a lot more than that story, but that's the gist of it right there.
What? My goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. You
True story. It can be backed up. That's Alvin
well,
Ward. He'll tell you.
that lets you know there's still some good people in the world, you
Oh,
know?
some good. I tell you, of all the places, I will say this: of all the places I've ever gone, you can't. That hospitality in West Virginia can't be matched.
Mm.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not talking about way up in the top of the mountains because if you're not from there, though, you don't go there. I don't care who it is.
Hmm.
The federal government don't even go up there. But in the foothills,
Yes, they do.
unmatched hospitality.
Were you able to get in the house the next day or?
Yes, I was able to get in the next day, and everything worked out smoothly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
everything worked out smooth. But I will say this: well, that wasn't sad or funny or scary, but hospitality in the Philippines as well. In the Philippines, they do open their arms in the Philippines as well. As far as different
Mhm.
countries, man, it's that hospitality is unmatched in the Philippines.
You know what? It's funny you say that because where I work, there are a lot of residents who have care aides who are Filipino,
Yes,
and they say the same thing about them.
yes,
Yeah.
oh my
Very
goodness,
gentle, very
yes,
kind, very caring, you
yes.
know. Yeah. They just need to come in as an agency and not independently because we
Whew.
need to do a background check to make sure
Hmm.
you are skilled
Hmm.
and, do any harm.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, we I get that a lot from the residents that have Filipino care aides. So
Yes.
that's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right. So, Mr. White T-shirt guy, in our final conversation, I want to ask you, how has traveling changed your view on life?
To be honest, life, I have hope for humanity. Traveling has really
Hope is good.
given me hope
Yeah.
because there are bad, especially here lately. We've seen a lot of bad actors, but trust me, there are a lot of good people on this earth.
Hmm.
Very good people.
We have to get out of our comfort zone.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. But there are very good people. I think the 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 navigation through life is this. You would be fortunate if you came across good people, but unfortunately, sometimes we do come across bad people.
Mhm.
But I do have hope for humanity because there are a lot of good people in this
Yeah.
world.
And even in America, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I haven't encountered any bad people.
Mm-hmm.
I can say rude people,
Mm-hmm.
but not like in your face bad people.
Because they are some
And
evil.
yeah, and I just try to position myself when I'm out and about to show humility, as you said.
There you go.
And usually it works. I haven't had a bad incident or, a rude encounter with anybody.
The
Usually
laws
it
of
works.
attraction.
Yep, 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 yep. And I mean, I've had men from different races to open the door for me, to smile at me because of my presentation. And
There you go.
yeah, and how I present myself when I'm out in public. So I'm hopeful too. I'm hopeful too. I really am. And when I pray, a lot of people are not they do not like this administration, but I pray for the administration because something has to happen. Something more powerful than us as humans has to happen within that administration in order for it to change, you know?
Well, time heals all wounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Just hang on.
Yeah. And so it's just I would say that the world is still a good place and there are still good people, but we have to show up in a presentable and humility way in order to get that from other people. And even when, people are rude, sometimes I walk up to cashiers and they look tired, maybe they look hungry, maybe
Mhm.
they don't want to be there, and I say, "Hi Jason, how you doing?" And they smile. Or they smile.
Be that.
One time I had some gum in my mouth and I asked a young lady, would she like a stick? She said, "Oh, thank you." She said, "Because I haven't had lunch yet." It's just the small gestures that we do.
Yes, be that light, be that
Yeah,
beacon.
exactly. Exactly. So, Mr. White T-shirt guy, where can people follow your journey or stay connected to you?
You know what? I knew you were going to ask this. Right now, I don't really, I don't have a large presence on Instagram right now. I'm on Facebook, but
Mhm.
Mark Zuckerberg ain't paying them bills like he needs to, so I might have to just going over to TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
So unfortunately, right now, probably the easiest way to get me is on Facebook,
Yeah,
and
because
that's
that's where I follow
King
you.
Lonnie on Facebook, and that's where I am. But I will have a larger presence in the near future. But for right now, that's probably the easiest place to get me. King Lonnie on Facebook.
All right. All right. Well, that's good. Thank you, Lonnie, for sharing your incredible traveling experiences with us today. Your experiences remind us that travel is more than just seeing places, it
Yes,
teaches empathy, perspective, resilience, and how deeply connected we all are. And,
yes,
th- and if this and this also resonated with me as a social worker because in my line of work, the heart of social work is empathy, understanding people, honoring their differences, and growing through human connection.
yes,
How I connect with people is just, sitting there talking to them, understanding their background, wanting to know their background, and just giving them my undivided attention so that I have the information from them in order to help them because they are the expert in their life, not me.
yes.
So, guys, if you enjoy watching this video, stay tuned for more. Make sure you like and like and subscribe and hit the notification button for more video uploads. I appreciate you. Thank you to all my subscribers on my YouTube channel. Lonnie, thank you again for being patient with me because I'm new at this, and it's a work in progress, but I am definitely enjoying this journey. And yeah, that's all I got. Do you have any closing words?
A lot of fun. Well, look, this is a lot of fun, and hopefully next year I'll come back and be a guest again because I plan to at least 7 more countries this year to add to the list, and hopefully I have more adventures and stories to tell.
Do you know the 7 countries you'll be visiting right off?
Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Iceland, Singapore, and Bali and Vietnam.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Do you have souvenirs from all of the countries that you visited?
I used to collect money until the European Union went to the euro, and everyone, because everyone had their own currency. So I used to collect currency from everyone, but now, except for the European countries, other than that, I collect money from every country I go to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
money and memories.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, the white t-shirt guy, and I look forward to talking to you later on. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.